global warming, climate change. These terms are no longer concepts as of today. It goes by saying that climate change is real and it is affecting our lives. So how do we cope up with this change? In today's episode, we share with you initiatives aimed to curtail the impact of climate change. We start off with the food production, to energy generation, and with a group of volunteers and advocates that made this show a reality. Hello, my name's Angel Escuna Collera and welcome to In Harmony. In an age when organic farming is gaining a foothold among farmers and consumers, one farming organization has taken organic natural farming a notch higher by seeking to rebuild our natural environment through their unique farming technique anchored on permaculture and agroforestry.
So we need this because we need to establish this. We're trying to mimic a forest here for just the surface area of our predatory insects.
Okay, what are predatory insects, sir?
Well, they are insects that are carnivorous and they eat other insects that would eat your plant.
Okay.
They need this artificial sort of
Like
mini rainforest. To have the surface area, like for example, spiders need some surface area for their web. So they can establish their webs and capture their prey. They would need surface area, bushes and different things to latch onto. So basically, our principle is to look at it, holistically, on a microclimate perspective. You establish your environment. So it's a combination of agroforestry, trees, flowers. We have legumes like caliandra and flamingia and different other legumes.
By adhering to the principles of permaculture, a farmer leans toward implementing to its farm the intricate symbiotic relationship of nature and a labor-free farming techniques which expectedly will yield a purely naturally grown and organic produce. This is City Nature Foods' guiding principle in food production. But their farming is a twofold category. Food security model, aimed at encouraging households to grow their own food, and agro-industrial forestry, which gives farmers disposable income.
So this is my family food security model that I would like to share.
It means that anyone can grow like this.
Yes. This is a 300 square meters. If you have that, you can do this. It's good because then you have your food sustenance on a daily basis. And then you can grow your herbs for your different things that you may love, to cook at home. Have your chickens for the meat, the eggs, and chickens produce organic fertilizer, so that's what we use for the garden. So it's a sustainable system. It's a cycle. So this is what I would love to encourage everyone. We need urban reforestation, to basically utilize the spaces in our urban areas for food production. This is my family food security area. So this area is basically, number one, it's 100% natural, no chemical inputs whatsoever, all the way from the seeds to all our inputs, soil inputs, everything is natural.
So in the selection of your plants here, you were specific that they were naturally grown from where they were?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. And what's nice about our company, CT Nature Foods, is because we have a seed bank. So we have seed sovereignty. So we have the power to decide what to plant and how much to plant of it. So we have a lot of spices like turmeric, ginger, cayenne peppers, and native vegetables to support our food security model. I have alugbate, orange kamote.
Why is it orange? The orange kamote.
Yes. So orange
okay.
kamote. We have different. We have eggplants here. You know the native eggplants. These are the original eggplants. You know
They're that small?
They're circle. Well, they grow bigger.
Okay.
This will grow bigger.
But it's really circle.
Yeah, it's circle. So that's where the name came from. You know, ever wonder why we have eggplants, but like they're elongated? So,
Yeah.
They used to look like this. Thus the name eggplant. But they.
But because of like chemical input or something, that's probably.
Well, basically due to some modification that they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a companion planting. So we have legume usage also.
You have kamote tops. We have lui.
Yeah. Kamote tops. I have ginger. We have string beans. These are still young string beans.
Okay.
They're legumes.
But you also have mints.
Yeah, we have different herbs. We have mint. We even have lavender here. Check this
saw
out. Here,
one like an orange
try a leaf. Try a leaf.
Sige daw. Oh, this one?
Here.
Oh my. Oh,
This
wow.
is lavender.
This is not even closest to those mga essences that you... Wow.
And
Wow.
so this is rosemary.
Oh, wow. This is so coming.
Try this out. The rosemary.
Am I supposed to eat this? Oh no.
It's good for mixing in with your chicken.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've not tried. But I'll take a bite. Pwede?
Yeah, definitely. And we even have stevia.
Oh, that one.
So it's a very good alternative for
This,
the
yeah, I've
sweetener.
tried one.
Here, try some.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, you can actually
Right.
dry this and powder it, and that becomes your sugar.
Ah,
It's very good
that's why.
for people
I
who
was
have
about to
diabetes.
Yeah, they said. Sorry.
A
This
very
is-
healthy form of sugar.
Yeah. See? It's so sweet. So sweet. Super, super sweet.
Yeah, we have Indian barrage. We have lemon mint, stevia. We have chocolate mint. Oh, I'll let you
one.
try this.
Sige. Does it really taste like chocolate?
Just a bit.
Yeah. Hello. So you eat this raw?
Yeah.
Or you can mix it with...
I mix it with my fruit shake. So I don't
Yeah.
use sugar to sweeten my fruit shakes. I use herbs. I use it for my organic feed for the chickens as well. So I feed the chickens a lot of herbs so that the herbs are already integrated into the feed. And so the chicken eat that, and then so they actually fix the flavor components of the herbs in their meat. So it's very flavorful.
Ah, okay.
Everything that I chose here can be reproduced very easily, like
Yeah.
kangkong,
You have
alugbati, and kamote. They can all be propagated through tissue culture. You know, just cuttings
I've
with
tried,
cuttings.
yeah. I've
So at
tried
least,
the tissue culture.
yes, ma'am. I wanted the model to be sustainable from the inside, not only in terms of food, but also in terms of planting.
Planting.
So the planting cycle. So you know the IPs, the indigenous people, need to go up and down the mountain to buy seeds, because basically the family food security can be reproduced from the within.
Like, as if providential, Moses Tan believes that he was destined to be a farmer and that what he's doing now with his business partner, Mr. Chongbian, is simply a fulfillment of that destiny.
I was prepped to be a lawyer like my father. My father, Attorney Noel Tan, was a lawyer. I was prepped to be a lawyer like him, but it was already my God-given mission from the very beginning. Even before I was born, it was my mission already.
There was a calling already.
There was the mandate of God to be a farmer. So I am simply following the path of God. So City Nature Foods basically belongs to Mark Chongbian and Moses Tan.
And yours.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's CT Chongbian Tan Nature Foods.
So that's why.
Yeah. And our main purpose is to glorify God and then serve the people and serve Mother Earth. So how we glorify God is because God has been the sole energy for success of our project. God has been our number one source of guidance. So the Lord guided us, and we partnered up with indigenous communities.
In Bukidnon?
In Bukidnon. Our first communities that we worked with was in Baungon, Bukidnon. That's around 40 minutes away from here.
And you have a farm there?
Yes, ma'am. It's owned by Mark Chongbian, Sir Mark.
So this place is yours?
Yes.
And in Baungon, it's Mark?
Yeah, but we belong to one company, one group. One group. So what we do is we establish a genuine partnership with the indigenous communities, because we're end user, we're processor. We process them into different spice powders, organic spice powders. And so we stimulate a livelihood with them.
Acknowledging that farming is a sacred occupation, City Nature Foods adapts sustainable farming techniques which they generously share with their partners and eventually to organic farming communities.
Yes, and we don't use any commercial inputs, because basically the gist of the technology of basically family food security in an urban setting, in a residential setting, was basically number one, so that we are sustainable of external inputs. So we no longer buy materials from the outside, because everything you feed them is from the inside. So it's a sustainable process. And so the chickens, basically they eat
These
kangkong.
are like Bisaya chickens.
Yeah. Here, let me show you an example. I'll just get some kangkong, just for some snacks. We have our
chicken, you have snacks today.
we have our fermented feed. It's called bokashi. It's a Japanese term.
Still.
Yeah, for fermented plant matter. So we basically have our own organic chicken feed using effective microorganisms.
So you also use bokashi here?
Yes. Basically, we feed them with bokashi.
Do they lay eggs?
Yes, ma'am. And then so we're going to be here. Try, ma'am. Feeding the chickens.
Do I have
you just sort of break them like so. And then you just drop them here.
Do they eat this stem also?
Yeah, they'll eat the stem.
Here, chick.
Well, I had to go to Thailand to study. I went there with Saraburi Training Center. It's where EM1, or effective EM Research Japan holds their training, and then so I had to seek training there to know the basics on how to use EM1 for organic agriculture. But the strongest energy that we actually got for success is because although we had all that knowledge of farming, it was the Lord Jesus Christ who guided us. All of the vegetables that you see here now are actually Filipino native vegetables.
Okay.
And they are very familiar to the indigenous communities.
Yes.
So they're basically very accustomed to eating these vegetables. So that's the reason why, because this family food security should be for our indigenous communities. This should be, basically the solution is, lies within
Yes,
the
the
indigenous
community.
community. We simply have to stimulate.
Yes.
But the solution lies within, so sustainability.
Your decision that you don't get those mga dried leaves, I presume,
Well, these,
or because that serves as their vitamins already?
yes, ma'am. What they do is they are a slow-release organic fertilizer. So it's organic fertilizer on a long-term basis. We're actually incorporating some into this compost pile. So it's just a mixture of chicken manure, cow dung,
And then there's charcoal?
charcoal, and then so we have different wastes that we have here from leaves, from fruit peelings. And so by using EM1, or effective microorganisms, basically we decompose it at a very rapid rate.
Oh, so that's why.
It becomes ready to use very soon, and there's no odor, there's no bad smell.
So like on a regular composting, diba, it takes a while. But
Yeah.
if you input EM1, like how many days? Do you
15
have?
days.
That's ready na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's a manual. It will be in their language on what we've noticed worked for us.
But what about like, because there are already like a number of urban growers, would your manual be available?
Sure,
also to
definitely.
them?
It's applicable to all elevations. City, sea level, 300 meters above sea level, 800 meters above sea level.
Apart from the family food security models, City Nature Foods also engages in agro-industrial forestry, which in turn becomes a farmer's disposable income.
We plant spices for disposable income. So this is family food security, Garden A. Garden B will be family food will be agro-industrial
When you
crops.
say disposable income, that's when you as a grower can start selling.
Yes, and we buy back all the produce. Well, this is for the agro-industrial phase. So Garden A was for the food security, for our food sustenance on a daily basis, for our tummies. This is for the pockets. So
What do we have
agro-industrial crop.
Hey, there's a froggy.
Yeah, that's
And that's
you
okay.
frog that. You see that in an organic environment.
Yeah, that means that the environment is healthy.
Yeah.
This is also a pepper.
Yes, ma'am. Cayenne peppers.
Cayenne peppers.
So these are planted with gingers here. These are still newly planted gingers. They're still sprouting in the middle. And we have our cayenne peppers here on the side. So it's basically a companion planting because cayenne pepper loves sulfur and ginger actually emits sulfur. So there's a symbiotic relationship.
Oh,
Yeah.
imagine how nature works.
Yeah.
No?
We're simply trying to mimic, the Garden of Eden, which we can never do, but we can try.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
We can try.
Try.
We can try. And the gingers, you harvest once a year. So we usually plant it so that we harvest it on December. So it's, like a Christmas bonus. So they would have weekly disposable income from the peppers because harvest is weekly. And so we buy it weekly from them. And gingers is an annual harvest, a big bulk harvest for Christmas time. So that's their disposable income. Not just income to, heal the samad of dudong, but it's disposable income to buy luxury, items. And
Coming up next, are you passionate about clean energy? Traditional sources of energy like coal and fossil fuel have created many environmental issues.
Una sa kondisyon na mo ni Migsubiri, priority gid ang mga taga-Labuagon.
Situated in the heart of Barangay Labuagan is the first of its kind solar farm in Bukidnon. Are you passionate about clean energy? Traditional sources of energy like coal and fossil fuel have created many environmental issues. We face the possibility of these resources running out. Nevertheless, advances in technology have made it possible for us to harness sources of alternative energy. Among the many alternative sources of clean and renewable energy, solar power has started to take root in Mindanao. Situated in the heart of Barangay Labuagan is the first of its kind solar farm in Bukidnon.
This facility, as you can see here, is a 10.49 megawatt solar farm project, the name of which is Asian Green Energy Corporation. No? It's a partnership between the Solec company, which has its parent company based in Singapore, and the family of Senator Mix Suberi, which owns the land. No? So we started actually sometimes last August, and towards the end of February this year, the plant becomes operational already, producing around 10 megawatt of electric power, and it's being transmitted to the National Grid Corporation, the Philippines.
Like water and air, the sun is one of the Earth's life support systems, providing heat and light. Solar energy, which is renewable, widely available and clean, provides enough energy to meet the world's annual consumption needs every 50 minutes. The challenge is to collect and share, however small, of this heat and radiant energy. Aside from being the first solar farm in Bukidnon, the Asian Green Energy Solar Farm has brought employment and potential tourism opportunities to the residents of Barangay Labuagan, Kibawi.
Una sa kondisyon na mo ni Mix Subiri, priority gid ang mga taga Labuagon. So kung kulang ang trabahante sa Labuagon, aya pa pod mo kuha sa sakop ra pod sa Kibawi. So kung kulang gid ang sakop sa Kibawi, aya pa pod mangita o
Sa gawas na, oo.
Mo po nay among usas na lipay mi nga niya nabutang sa Barangay Labuagon, labi na nga yuta ni Senator Mix Subiri, nga mahimo pang tourism. Nya kana siya murag makapadugang o kaayuhan sa moang Barangay Labuagon.
If you can see that the traditional sources of energy has a lot of maybe has a cause for the climate change, and well, in fact many scientists are now researching how to lessen those usage of traditional energy resources. The rampant usage of our, for example, fossil fuels, it will deplete our resources by around 2060. As you can see, the solar is the cleanest source of renewable.
It's the cleanest.
Yeah, it's the cleanest source of
By
renewable.
far, no?
Yeah.
It's the cleanest. Is it also safe?
Yes, it's
It's
safe.
safer.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. No? It's always feasible because, as we are all aware now of climate change, things like that, no? And if we want really to be of help, then we have to use renewable type of energy, and solar is offering that kind of thing, no? So in our own households, if we want to use this, it can be, no? But of course, it would depend if you want to have it on grid or off grid, no? Meaning, if you want it on grid, it will be connected direct to a distribution company, and then what we're going to do there is implement the net metering scheme, no?
System, oo.
Yeah, meaning your household generates electricity and it is passed on to the distribution company, but at the same time you utilize also electricity from the distribution company. So at the end of a billing period, say on a monthly scale, you have to determine whether how much are you going to pay, or if you're lucky enough to generate a bigger volume of electricity, then you might be the one billing the distribution company. For one, you have to consider your consumption first, no? Consumption. So that eventually the design, the capacity will match to your consumption. Because what good if
It's not enough.
you want this so much and then the source is just around 10-15%, no, of your needed capacity. This should be a study, no? And if it will be on grade, meaning you generate and then you use your own, then the formula there is you have to double, no? Okay, say
okay.
if you need 1,000 watts, your installed solar capacity should be around 2,000 watts. Well, of course, it will be a dip in your pocket. It will
yes.
hurt your first cost, but eventually, after maybe 7-8 years, you'll not pay anymore as far as your
And you can use all the energy that
the
you have at
energy,
home.
No, it's not that hard because you have to just put the solar panel in the roof.
Okay.
And then you clip it on the battery. That's when the battery will be charged. And
Okay.
then clip the inverter. That's all.
Oh, okay. So it's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
Yes, even women can do it.
Yeah, okay. Diba? So it's not really a challenge.
Yes.
But is-
Pagsaka lang sa atop siguro.
I understand that you are using solar energy. Is this sa imuhang balay or somewhere else?
It's like the house of the missionaries in
Okay.
one of the villages of a mission school. It's an
okay.
island actually,
Oo, particularly in
particularly in Tawi-Tawi.
Tawi-Tawi.
Yeah.
How was the experience like using the solar energy?
It's wonderful. At first, I was so amazed because it was my first time to use a solar power. And most people in Tawi-Tawi use solar energy.
okay.
Yes, because we do not have electricity. Same here, we do not
From
have
the
tower.
grid, wala
Yes.
pa siya. Okay.
Yes, and some people may use generator, but it could be very expensive.
Oo.
You have to buy
Diba?
diesel all the
Oo.
time. So most of the people use solar energy from the smallest solar panel down to
Yeah.
the biggest.
These are like residences
Yes.
you're talking about. Wow,
Yes.
amazing.
So it's enjoying, amazing, and it could also be challenging.
okay, the
because-
challenges would be?
Yes, when it's rainy days, you cannot have energy.
Yeah, and it's cloudy.
Yes,
Wala po
you
siya.
could also get pag cloudy, naman gyapon kay makuha but very minimal. And I
Diba?
could see in Tawi-Tawi people are very intelligent because they can use even a small battery to run a television. And I don't know how did they do it. Yes,
Probably we
even
need to go there and ask them. Really?
yes, even electric fan, just a small battery, they could run it for the whole night. They could
Wow.
even have their karaoke, videoke.
And they're using solar energy.
Yes, they're using solar energy.
We just want to emphasize that there is no danger of radiation so far. There is no radiation. If you will notice, all, I guess, places inside the plant, no, which there is a potential electric hazards, are all there are all reminders. There are all safety signages reminding people to observe safety precaution. So may naglagay naman kayo ng sunblock. Yan na siguro ang pinaka
all throughout this season, you've seen In Harmony only with me, through me, or whatever it is that just you've seen only me. But today, we're gonna share with you that In Harmony is a team, is a family of volunteers.
Hi, I'm Maria Vashti Cabana, and my involvement in Harmony. I'm one of the writers sa ilang segments. Being a writer sa In Harmony, though for a short while lang siya, dili siya kanang maragdugay na, it was satisfying and rewarding and an honor to be part of being a storyteller.
I'm Lorraine Marie B. Mahinay. I'm once an intern here in Hope, in Harmony especially. So I'm a student, AB Communication student in Liceo de Cagayan University. Well, it's dili siya kuan decide yun, pero kuan siya kanang we were recommended like si Ma'am Angel to choose or to mag-intern sa Hope Channel kay para maka-experience with production.
I'm April Ann Tigulo. I'm currently working as Economic Development Specialist for the National Economic and Development Authority. And for the In Harmony show, I serve as assistant producer and researcher and writer. I volunteered for the show because from past experiences of doing something for free for other people, it made me feel good. So lately I read about studies that prove that volunteering makes you happy. So I volunteered because it makes me feel good. It's fulfilling and rewarding. It's actually a win-win situation. No, you get to do something good for other people, for the environment, and at the same time, you are happy for what you did. My experience with the In Harmony team has been fulfilling and rewarding. So through this show, I get to meet and learn from other people that I would never have met without the show.
I volunteered as a writer for In Harmony episodes, and I thought, okay, this would come easy because it's just writing, and I've been writing for as long as I can remember. And surprise, surprise, actually, I realized that there's always room for improvement. You can always learn a lot. This is my first time writing for TV, and again, I would like to thank you, Ma'am Angel, for giving me this opportunity. Seriously, because actually, as a writer, I used to think that there's only one style of writing, but again, you're never too old to learn, and you realize that there are actually styles to writing, and that specifically writing for TV and video, you have to not only deliver your message, but you also have to design it in such a way that it must contribute to the story. In writing for video, you have to make the decision to connect with your audience. It's a connection at the personal level, because you always have to ask yourself, am I writing in a way that my audience understands it? Being a volunteer has made me realize that yes, there are possibilities outside of what we were taught. So again, this has been a most learning experience.
Isa ko sa crew sa show nga In Harmony. Isa po ni sa pinaka-the best nga show sa Hope Channel. Ang pinaka-the best sa akong experience sa In Harmony, kanang mga tuni sa gawas, kanang malingaw mi, at the same time dagan mi may balaan. Then isa pod ka maka-improve sa mong skills sa outdoor, kanang exposure sa mga tao, kabulo ka mo atubang og tao pod.
So In Harmony started out because of a passion and that motivation that we would elevate our advocacy initially to simply campaign for the preservation of our environment. But now the show have evolved into like tapping community leaders and the encouragement of a healthier lifestyle, among others. We started out with nothing, zero knowledge on TV production. It was a bit of a struggle on my part as the executive producer ko, no? Okay, at the same time the host. First season was really an experience for all of us. It's a learning experience. There was the advocacy, but by being able to listen to the stories of our mga featured mga individuals, it was an encouragement for us that the world is a better place because there are people like them. Ma'am Gloria was given to us by God. She is really a gift, and the rest of the team, this is a new format for Hope Channel, but through the talented men, we call us the boys, in the technical room, like Dodong, Tawing, Glenn, and Peter, and all the rest, Rami, Janster, In Harmony was made possible. As we end this first season of In Harmony, on behalf of my team, the In Harmony team, we would like to thank the administration of Hope Channel, the South Philippine Union Conference, for your trust and confidence in allowing us to advance our advocacy. We're neophytes in this TV production, but with your encouragement and your faith in us, this was made possible. And to all our media partners who have generously given their time, their talent, and their financial assistance, thank you so much. We don't know where would be without your assistance to us. So once again, thank you so much, and may God bless us always.
Sorry.
Ilang ko nung wala. Ang pinaka-the-best nga experience sa In Harmony, kanang maglakaw bitaw ta sa kanang saan yung lugar.
Ay, garo na din na. Isa lang.
Mic test 1.
So, hello Ma'am Angel, good afternoon. Hi Dodong, hi Elson.